welcome to Sha'ar Hagilgulim number 15? 16. Very big, we got to a very 16 shiurim in Sha'ar Hagilgulim. You know what that is? It's thousands of years of Olam Haba. Our shiur is lahatzlachat, for the tzlacha of Ishti, Yocheved Yana V'Deorla. May she give birth very soon and very fast and very easily and swiftly. And also especially, and also for the zivugim hagunim, for that tzlacha of the zivugim, Avraham ben Adina, Yonatan ben Margarita, Asher ben Margarita, Arieh David ben Rizal Brain, Moshe ben Avigail, Baruch Chai ben Yehudit Irina, Daniel ben Leah, Aaron Moshe ben Yafa, Rahman ben Dina, Levi ben Nidia, David ben Tzvet, Tzivia, Gabriel ben Tzivia, Yoshua ben Miriam, Yosef Meir ben Rivka, Gabriel Chai ben Reuven, Leah, Eliezer ben Yehuda, Baruch ben Yosef, ben Yosef, Milana ben Nela, Ronen ben Emmanuel, Avraham ben Natalie, Baruch ben Tzivia, Daniel ben Tamar, David ben Michal, Rafael ben Yeshua, Baruch ben Tonya, Moshe Chai ben Rosa, Eliezer ben Olga, David ben Tonya, Aaron ben David, Malkiel ben Shmuel, Avraham ben Bracha, Roma ben Sonia, Edward ben Shura, Boris Baruch Bechor ben Jana, Shimon ben Dor, Yitzhak ben Tzipor, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bless them b'zchut this limud Sha'ar Hagilgulim. May they all find their zivugim b'merav karov. Amen. So we're in my book. It's page Nun. That we're in Daf Nun, right? We just started basically Hagdama Gimel, the third Hagdama, and now the Ariya Kadosh is going to get into the nitty gritty of it. Now we're starting to get to the the meat and potatoes. We already have a short introduction. What's Gilgul? What's Ibur? What's Yibum? We learned already that people could be split. Okay? Not necessarily does all the parts of your soul come back in a reincarnation. It could be that your soul comes back in 3 different bodies in the same time. Okay? Many different kinds of configurations. Okay, we learned that a person could have an Ibur of Tzadikim if he does a big mitzvah. A person could even have an Ibur Neshama, impregnation of a soul of somebody that lives. Thank you. Somebody who lives even with him in this generation. Besod v'tidbak nefesh David b'Yonatan. Okay, so that's something very big. Now, today we're going to learn about something called Gilgul B'Chaim. What's Gilgul B'Chaim? There is an Ibur, right? Ibur, impregnation of a soul. That means while you're walking, you do a big mitzvah or something, and a soul comes inside of you to be fixed, let's say, or a tzaddik comes inside of you to help you out. Then there could also be Gilgul, but there's something in the middle called Gilgul B'Chaim. What's Gilgul B'Chaim? The soul that comes inside of you doesn't come inside of you when you're born. It comes inside of you while you're alive, I mean after you were born, but when it comes inside of you, unlike an Ibur that could leave whenever he wants, there's something called Gilgul Mechayim that has to stay with you until you die. Until you die, but there's only one difference. He doesn't take your Averot. The Averot that you do only stay to you, but the mitzvot that you do also go to him. Okay? When does this happen? For example, Gabriel, let's say you were a guy named David. David had a nefesh ruach neshama. He sinned only in his nefesh. We will learn that your nefesh is made out of 613 pieces. Your ruach is made out of 613 pieces. And your neshama is made out of 613 pieces. Every piece is called a nitzotz. Every nitzotz is fixed by one scenario that you had in your life of a mitzvah and avera. Okay? Now, it could be sometimes, let's say you were born in this world, your specific tikkun was to do, Brit Milah. The mitzvah, to do Brit Milah. You were supposed to do Brit Milah, and you became a mohel. Hashem puts you in the right path to be what you're supposed to be. You become a mohel, but chas v'shalom, you messed up on one milah. Messed up. You made the kid a krut shofcha, chas v'shalom. Okay. You cut it too much. Okay? So this kind of person, it's as if he killed the kid. Right? But he didn't do it on purpose. But that spark inside his soul that was supposed to do that milah has to come back in a Gilgul now. How about the other parts of his soul? That has nothing to do with the mitzvah of milah. They came for Talmud Torah, tzitzit, tefillin. What about them? They have to come back in something called a Gilgul Hadomeh Le'Ivur. Gilgul B'chaim, just to come inside a body, to suffer a little bit, to clean themselves, and then they leave. Why does Hashem do that? Because if all the parts of the soul would have to come back, there would be no end to the game. So what does Hashem do? He splits the soul, that spark that had to do with that scenario in your life, comes back in a real Gilgul, and the rest of your pieces that had only a small pegam, a small blemish, come back in something called a Gilgul B'chaim. You understand what I'm saying? Or it's not clear?
He comes back.
He comes back, but only the real Gilgul. That means when he comes back as Gavriel is named after that nitzotz that did the major Avera. Not the other parts of your neshama that only were there because they had to be there. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a person, you have a bunch of friends go out, Shovavnikim, Banzitim, they go out, and one of them has drugs on them, and the cops come and they catch all of them. Which one stays in jail for a long time? Which one goes to court? The one that had the drugs on him. But the other, all of them, they had to stay 24 hours in jail. Right? Because, why did they have to go? Because they were with him. Right? They were caught. Right? But, they only have to stay for 24 hours and they come out. Same thing in your neshama. Okay? Now let's see it inside. Da. Ki kasher chata Adam harishon, when Adam harishon sinned, now we're getting into the sin of Adam harishon, slowly by slowly. Nifgemu kol hanitzotzot shel nafsho verucho venishmato. All the parts of his neshama, Gavriel, unfortunately, they had a big blemish. All of them. Why? Because Adam harishon only had one mitzvah. That mitzvah had to fix all of his sparks. So when he didn't do the mitzvah, what happened? All of them got a blemished. V'hinyanu b'ma shenoda ki kmo shegufo shel adam kalul mikama nitzotzot. Just as like your body, Gavriel, is included in it a couple of nitzotzot. You're never one nitzotz. You're not made out of one spark. You're a neshama that's made out of many sparks. Just like you're not just a body, right? You have a hand. Every hand has 5 fingers. Every finger has 3 parts of the bone. In your hand over here, you have the radius, the ulna, the clavicle, the scapula, all these parts of your bone. Then you have the muscles, right? I could call you Gavriel, but Gavriel is made up of all these things. So too, your neshama is made up of the same exact thing, but spiritually. You might even say that the body only looks the way it looks because your soul looks like that. It's like a mirror image. Okay? That's why the Mekubalim say that you looked in your past Gilgul. So when Adam Harishon sinned and he had inside of him 613 sparks, corresponding to the 248 limbs and the 365 sinews. V'yesh kama nitzotzot berosho. How are they split? In your head, you have a couple of limbs, bones, muscles, and stuff. So you have some of the 613 sparks are where? In his head. Ken be'einav, also your eyes. Some of them were in his eyes. Ken bechol ever ve'ever, so too in every single part of Adam HaRishon's body was considered one separate shoresh, one separate nitzotz. Understand? Right now he calls them nitzot, later on he's going to call them shorashim, roots. Ken ha-nefesh ha'i, so too a nefesh, a person's nefesh, kemo she'amru b'midrash tanchuma, u'midrash rabba parshat tisa al pasuk, efo ha'iti biyosdi aretz. God told Eov, when Eov was complaining, Job, really Moshe didn't write 5 books. He wrote 6 books. What was the 6th book that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote? Job. Eov. When Eov was complaining a lot. Complaining. Well, he did get punished real bad. And Hashem told him at the end, after all that, his friends tried to convince him, this and that. Hashem told him, where were you when I made the world? How could you ask on me, what are my cheshbonot? You can't even calculate how many hairs there are on your head. And you expect to know how come stuff happens to you? Where were you when I created the world? So really what he really meant when he said, where were you when I created the earth? He meant, where were you when I created Adam Harishon, which came out of the earth? That's what Hashem meant, says the Ari Kadosh. Melamed shaya Adam Harishon mutal golem. Adam was made from the earth like a golem. What's a golem? Like you say a golem. Like a lifeless statue. Right? A lifeless statue. Veze talui birosho. And a couple of tzaddikim came from his... Huh?
The Maharal's statue.
Like the golem, yeah, like the Maharal. They say the Maharal had a golem. Right? So that some tzaddikim were from the head of Adam Harishon. Some tzaddikim, even Amarit, came from the hands of Adam Harishon, from the eyes, from the two shoulders, right? It's Cain and Hevel, for example. Not only that, Adam Harishon has 613 times 3. Why times 3? There's 613 parts to his nefesh, 613 parts of his ruach, 613 parts of his neshama. Some tzaddikim come from the head of the neshama. Some tzaddikim come from the eyes of the ruach. Some tzaddikim come from the feet of the nefesh. Not everybody comes from the same place. Depending from where you come from, your tikkun changes. Usually we say we're going to learn that the world, how does Hashem make the world work? The birur, the selection process. In the first generations of Avraham Avinu, Adam Harishon, the people who were coming at that time came from where? The head of Adam Harishon. Slowly, generations went down, the eyes, the nose of Adam Harishon, the mouth of Adam Harishon. So all those tzaddikim that came, let's say for example, the generation of Adam Harishon, Dor Enosh, the first people that ever lived, they all came in general from the head of Adam Harishon. Right? And then the next generation, the generation of Noach. Right? Dor HaMabul. They came from the eyes. And slowly they went down to the neck. Let's say the generation of Mitzrayim came from the neck. Why? Mitzrayim means Metzer Yam. What's Metzer? Narrow. A narrow bridge. That's the neck of Adam Harishon. And that's why they say that in the back of the neck is called the Oref. Who was the antagonist of the story? Paro. Right? That's why we put that tefillin in the back over here. The neck is the connection between the body and the head. Right? The neck is what Yosef was crying on when he met Binyamin, and Binyamin was crying on his neck. Right? The Beit HaMikdash is compared to what? The neck. The Mishkan is a connection. It's compared to a neck. Right? The Shekhinah is compared to a neck, right? Wherever the neck goes, the head goes. Wherever the head goes, the body goes. So that means what is the ever that moves everything? The neck. Unlike the other three generations, Dor Sedom, Dor Pelaga, and Dor Mabul, which are compared to the head, but they didn't have a tikkun. They didn't have their finishing process. They're finishing in our generation, and I'm going to explain to you how that works exactly. And look how Adam Harishon sinned. Look how he sinned, it's unbelievable. When he sinned, Adam. Az nifgemu rova nitzotzot. Most, 99.9% of all of his souls inside of him, that those nitzotzot had a pegam. What didn't have a pegam? Those souls that came from something called zihara ila'ah, which we will learn about one day. Not going to learn about today. There's souls that come from zihara ila'ah, they don't have a pegam. Such as the soul of Chanoch, Malach Matat, Yosef HaTzadik, Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananiah. Right? What does Rabbi Yeshua say in the Gemara? In my life, nobody ever beat me. How could he say such a thing? What does that mean, nobody ever beats me? Since he's not affected by the sin of Adam Harishon, nobody could beat him. He's Zihara Ilah, Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol, v'chule. Okay, so, but most of the nitzotzot did have a pegam. Adam Harishon, Avraham Avinu, Yitzhak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, David HaMelech, we're going to learn, Gabriel, Moshe Rabbeinu was an old soul. Most of the heroes in Judaism are not new souls. Funny thing is, they're mostly all old souls, because they come from the deep klipa, and the fact that they rose up to be what they are is unbelievable. That's what Hashem is looking for. He's not looking for big neshamot. For example, Cain and Hevel, we're going to learn about them. They had, what kind of neshamot, like crazy neshamot they had. They were called the wings of Adam Harishon, the wings. And we know that even after he had the hirhura, Cain had a bad thought. Even then, Hashem came to him in a prophecy. It's unbelievable. He's thinking about killing his brother, and still Hashem comes to him as prophecy. It's unbelievable. These were the nishamot that were coming, back then. Today, obviously, since the 2,000 years.
Don't all the souls today come from the kind rebel?
No, we're going to learn in Haggadah Mazayin, Haggadah Madalet, that there are 4 categories of souls. 4 categories, okay? Kain and Hevel is only one category. Okay? Continuing. What happened to them, Gabriel? Once Adam Harishon sinned with the Etz Hadat, all the souls got mixed. Like a dough, like a Isa, got mixed with the Kali, with the Kali, with the Sitra Achra. What does that mean? If you came from the head of Adam Harishon, you fell to the head of the Kali. If you came from the hands of Adam Harishon, you fell to the hand of the Kali. If you came from the Yesod of Adam Harishon, you fell to the Yesod of the Kali.
Were they created before?
Yes, the Satan was created already from the time of the Shbirat HaKelim. From the time of the Shbirat HaKelim, the breaking of the vessels, which we mentioned yesterday, there's something called the breaking of the vessels.
When did this happen?
This happened before the world was created, before the world of Atzilut was created even. That's why one of the most famous things that we read in the Tefillah is Ana B'Koach, right? Ana B'Koach, what's the second stanza? Kabel, Rinat, Amecha, Sagereinu, Tarinu, Nora. If you read the first 6 letters of that stanza, what is it? Kra Satan. What is Kra Satan?
You can say it like that?
Yeah, it's not Hashem Kadosh. It stands for Hashem Kadosh. What is that stanza? What does that mean? Kra Satan. When Hashem ripped the worlds, that's when the Satan was created. Basically, from chaos, Gabriel, from arguments, from chaos, that's how the Satan was created. From the worlds being in a state of chaos. Okay, and Hashem had to create this illusion called Schar va'onesh, reward and punishment. Why do I call it an illusion? Because just like Hashem told Eov, "Efo ha'iti be'os di'aretz," you think all that you're going for is a punishment right now? It's all reward. If you know where you came from in Adam HaRishon, you know exactly why the life you're going through is what you're going through. Okay? So for example, if your neshama comes from the world of Atzilut, you will be forced into a position where you have to be a leader. You'll be forced into a position. If you come from the world of Bia, you come from the world of Perud. From Bia Yitziasiyah, you come from the world of Perud, of disconnection. Yeah, disconnection, chaos. We're going to learn that. The whole point of learning Sha'ar Hagilgulim is to know where you came from. And the more people you learn it with, the more koach you have to figure out the truth. The more koach. Okay? Now, when the nitzotzot HaKedusha of Adam HaRishon, Gabriel fell into the klipa, lo aleinu, and they were mixed with the klipa, lo aleinu. This is what it means, the pasuk in the Tikkunei Zohar, kitzipor noled mikina. What's the Tikkunei Zohar and what's the Zohar, guys? Tikkunei Zohar was written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The Zohar was written by Rabbi Abba. So reading the Tikkunei Zohar in one sense is on a higher level than reading the actual Zohar, because it's written by the own hands of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Okay, and this is the 70 Tikkunim that he learned while he was hiding in the Ma'ara, in the cave, for 13 years. Okay, so the Tikkunei Zohar has a very big sigula for purification of your neshama. 1 page a day keeps the doctor away. Every midnight, the Shekhinah, the divine presence, which Sphira, as we learned a million times. Which Sphira is the Shekhinah? Malchut. The last Sphira, Malchut. Every midnight, the Malchut, the Shekhinah, God's divine presence, goes down inside the Klippa. Why? Every midnight, she goes down there to be Melaket and Nitzotzot. What does she do every midnight? She goes down there, it's called Mitah, death. When you go from one world to another world, it's called death. That's what it's called. Ragleya Yordot Mavet. She goes there and she sucks all the Nitzot HaKedusha out. Those Nitzot HaKedusha sometimes could come down as a cup of Sprite, which then you take it, you say shakol. Sometimes it could come down as a shirt. You say Shehiyanu v'kiyamanu v'giyanu if you're happy about it. Wear it and kaif. Sometimes it can come down as a human being. Okay? Sometimes it can come down as a rock. The world needs rocks, right? How are they going to build a mizbeach and all that, right? They need rocks. The rocks are nitzot kedusha. Okay? So it all depends. But the biggest level of a nitzot is when it comes and translates into a human being. So could you imagine that all of us sitting over here, people who are watching, and you guys were all from the cream of the crop. Lahavdil, when a person is with his wife, right? Only one of them comes out to be a human being, right?
Yeah.
So too, out of all the nitzotzot, only one of them comes out to be a human being. Understand?
I mean, I hear, but
You're not chapping.
I'm not happy.
Why not?
You see the individuals, so you see we're really the cream of the crop.
Yes.
And you look at us and you can say that we're not exactly the cream of the crop compared to previous generations.
Yeah, because there's different kinds of nitzotzot. There's millions of nitzotzot, right? But you should be happy to know that we're almost at the end. Bezrat Hashem. But as I told you guys many times before, the Rambam says this, Gabriel. What does the Rambam say? Before Mashiach comes, what has to come first? Prophecy. Oh, you were close. Prophecy has to come. It's a Igeret Teman. He says it. He even gives a date when it's supposed to happen. He even gives a date. It didn't happen, obviously, when he gave the date. We know that the Rambam was very big mitasek in Chokhmat HaTziruf. How to put letters together and get nevuah. He was mitasek in it. That kind of Kabbalah he knew. The Ari HaKadosh, this kind of stuff, he didn't know. But that Chokhmat HaTziruf, he knew. He was trying to reach prophecy. And it didn't work out, but you guys should be happy to know that if Mashiach comes in our generation, specifically in our generation, not the generation of the Rishonim, of Acharonim, of Yosef, Ben Ishchai, only our generation will be Zochef to what? To Nevi'im. And who's going to be Nevi'im, guys? People who learn the secrets of the Torah. Only they will be able to handle the Or Gadol, you know? It's a very big thing. So just as the Shekhinah goes down to the Kali, but when the Shekhinah goes down to the Kali, the Tzaddikim also have to go down with her. That's why you have to sit down in Tikkun Hatzot and cry with her as she's going down. Also the Tzaddikim go down with her and they go from one end to one end. All depends on the aspect of the spark that they're trying to take out. So too they went down deeper inside the Kali. So over here we see a very big Yesod. That means if a nitzotz of your neshama fell down into the legs of the Samech Mem, that's the worst part. The tzaddik who comes from the legs, even though he's all the way down there, he's actually stronger than the tzaddik that came from the Rosh. Why? Because only he could go down there and take out that nitzotz. Understand? Who has a harder job? To take out the nitzotz from the head or from the leg? Chap? You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, like I told you guys last night, the only tzaddik who fixed his soul in one thing, David HaMelech, you guys should know this. Al tiyu mezalzelim b'Tehillim. Don't be mezalzel in Tehillim. Tehillim is written by the only man. He's Mashiach, no? David HaMelech is Mashiach or no? Ve'avdi David, nasi alehem. As we read inside the Sefer Yecheskel, my servant David will be their leader forever. Yes.
Really? But he fixed himself completely. He still has to come?
He's only fixed himself. We're going to learn till Nefesh Da'atzilut. Nobody has ever reached the Yechida. Right? So he's going to, Mashiach's going to, he's going to get the Yechida. So it could be that David and Moshe maybe are very connected. Maybe they're very connected. And we're going to learn, we're not going to get to it today, but sometimes you could go through something called a Gilgul Kaful. You could have two tzaddikim inside of you. Not necessarily one. And they don't have to, go against each other. You understand?
If they're going to go against each other inside of you, that's not fun at all.
Yeah, it's not fun, exactly. So, okay. This is what it means of Galut HaNishamot, the exile of the souls. Also Cain and Hevel chat'u. Adam HaRishon sinned, okay. But also Cain and Hevel, they sinned. Chet acher zulati chet Adam Aviyem. They made a sin. They made it worse. What was Cain's sin, Gabriel? What's this? Cain. He killed. He was a killer. What was Hevel's sin?
Sits b'shchina.
I like that, but his answer is correct.
What's his answer?
Hitzitz b'shchina.
You looked on the Shina.
Sometimes it's not always good when you reach a very high level. Don't ask to reach too high. You understand? So Cain didn't just want to feel it. He also wanted to see it. And we know that God told Moshe, "Ki lo yir'ani ha'adam v'chai." You cannot visualize God. What are you trying to look at? But what did Moshe Rabbeinu say to God? He also wanted this. He says, what did Moshe tell God? What did he tell him? He says, "Will you walk in front of us?" Hashem said, "I will walk in front of you, but you will only see what? The back, not the front." And we know by the burning bush, what did Moses do? Moshe Rabbeinu, instead of looking at the burning bush, what did he do? He hid his face. Why did he hide his face? He was mitaken.
Fell down on the floor.
No, he hid his face.
Hid his face.
Yes, vayaster Moshe panav. It says he hid his face. Ki yareh. He was scared. Mehabit el Elokim. Why was he scared? He remembered his neshama felt. What happened when he was hevel? You understand? But Cain is worse. Now, what does that make a difference to you, Gavriel? If you're from Cain or hevel, you're in neshama. You don't only have to fix the sin of Adam HaRishon. What do you also have to fix? Cain and hevel. You know what I'm saying? How do you know if you're Cain or hevel or from Adam HaRishon? I'm going to throw you guys a little thing. And later on in the Sha'ar Hagilgulim, maybe Hagdama, Lamed Hey, Lamed Vav, something like that. Ari HaKadosh says, I'm going to give you a sign to know if you're from Cain or hevel. He says, if you're good with your hands, you could create with stuff. But you're not so good with your mouth. You're good with the hands. Making things, you're from Cain. If you're very afraid of shindalets, if you're afraid of being alone in the dark, if you're afraid walking outside when you're alone, also, it's a sign that it could be, it's all could be, that you're from who? Cain. If you have, some people have hair on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
If you have more hair on your left side than on your right side, it's a sign that you're from Cain.
If you have more on your right than it's hevel?
Yeah. If you're afraid of water, you don't like swimming pools, oceans, also, it's a sign that you're from Cain. All this could be...
Since, what if you drown?
So, then in that case, it doesn't count.
Then
Yeah.
you have fear for that.
Yeah, because you have fear because you went through a traumatic experience.
This
This is-
said, we don't know.
Yeah.
He
man.
says we don't know.
He knew very well. He himself knew. He had a book even.
But it says we don't know who from where, so
Yeah.
just be careful.
Be careful from
He's
everything.
talking about the knife when you said the
Yes, exactly. So-
take it away.
Yeah, correct. It's a halakha. You know that, right? You have to take up the knife.
But he's talking about when we're talking about
To be
the
careful,
Torah,
yeah.
Neshama,
Whoever comes from Cain has to be very careful to stay away from metal.
But since we don't know, everybody should
Why?
take
Yeah.
it away.
Because Cain killed Hevel.
Still killing, basically?
Yeah, he's a risk of being a killer. He likes to shed blood.
Hevel will be the opposite. Is it-
Hevel will be just the opposite. Hevel's a good speaker. Hevel likes water. Hevel is not afraid of the Satan, Samech Mem, Shindalet. Hevel is very big, very charismatic people. But it could be that you're not from Hevel or Cain either. It could be you're from Yosef HaTzadik. You're from the hands. You could be Lot. Lot was what? The thumb of Adam HaRishon. You could be Lot. There's some indications you could be from Cain or Hevel. Okay? So, this is some indications. People are from Hevel are very good with halacha. Halacha. They're very good halachists. Halacha is paskin like them in the Torah. Most of the people who the halacha paskins like is Hevel, not Cain. Cain is fire. They tume pulpalim when they're Talmidei Chachamim, except for one. There was one rabbi. It was from Cain that he was the biggest halachist. Who's that? Baal Shulchan Aruch. Yeah, Yosef Kari was a Cain. Huh? Anav. He was this. He was that. He was from Shorish Cain.
How do you know it's from Cain?
Ari HaKadosh was
He probably
Megaler.
worked on himself. That's why.
You know what kind of life he went through? 3 wives of his died in his lifetime. His sons died on him. Whoever, also another indication if you're from Kain or Hevel, if you have a very tough life. Tough life, yeah? Who doesn't have one? But you have to agree, some people are given tougher roads than other people, correct? Some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Why? Why is all these things make a difference, Gabriel? Because if you're from Kain, you come from the gvurot. From the strength. You have to take the gvurot. So it could be whoever loves to go to the mikveh a lot. And if you're from Hevel, you come from the loves. From the hasadim. You're the mituk. You understand? Besod hamayim hamegadelin et ha'ilan. Okay? So all these things are indication. Obviously, this could have a very big hashlachat here in neshama. Who you are. Okay, one more paragraph. אמנם בכל דור ודור יוצאות קצת ניצוצות ההם. Every generation, God doesn't send in all the nitzotzot. Every generation, only the nitzotzot that correspond to them, Gabriel, come out. If you're a very beginning generation, you start from the head. If you're the end generation, you start from the feet. ובאים בגלגול בעולם הזה. הכל כפי בחינת מחצב הנשמות. Everything according to the aspect of the system of souls of that הדור ההוא. Or either they could be a generation that come from the head of Adam HaRishon, or from the Nitzei Ayin, from the eyes of Adam HaRishon, ונתקנים בעולם הזה, and they have to go through a cleansing process to fix what? The sin of Adam HaRishon. That's the whole point, guys. That's the whole point. Fix the sin of Adam HaRishon, and obviously we get reward as we do that. Okay? ויש מי שאף גם שבא בגלגול לתקן, לא נזהר מן החטא. Let's say you come in a גלגול. Not only don't you do mitzvot, you do more עבירות. לא נזהר מן החטא. ולהשתקע יותר קל, what does he cause? He causes not only himself not to be fixed, Gabriel, he goes deeper down. Deeper down he goes.
It's not up to him though.
It is. Let's say you come from the eyes of Adam HaRishon. Right? What does that mean? That when Adam HaRishon made the sin, he fell into the eyes of the Samechman. So he comes down to this world with a certain tikkun to do, right? Instead of fixing,
He's always fallen.
he puts it from the eyes, he brings it down to to the feet. Happens too, these things, right? And then everybody that comes from that root soul suffers because of that.
So, as he falls to the feet, isn't it better if he rises up more?
Yes.
Faster, it's better.
Of course. So we're going to learn right now what Hashem does to help him. We're going to learn what Hashem does to help this guy. Hashem wants to help him. He doesn't want to make him worse. Who? If he's a big soul, all the souls that are inside of him go down with him. וזוהי בחינת בינונית. כוללת גלגול ועיבור. This is a middle ground between a gilgul and a ibur. What does that mean? And he's going to explain. כי כל ניצוצי הנפש אפילו אותם שנתקנו באים בגלגול גמור עם הניצוץ הפרטי המקולקל מעת שנולד. Like we said in the beginning of this year, a person made a sin, but his body is made up, his soul is made of many nitzotzot. So that nitzotz that made the sin, he comes back in a reincarnation, and now the body is going to be called after him. He's not David anymore. Now he's Israel. Ve'einam nifradim kladem v'da. But the other parts of the soul, since they also, when he was in his first Gilgul Gavriel, they also, how I said, like the guy with the drugs and all the friends were there with him, they also got punished on the way. So they also have to come back. Why? Because they were accomplices in a way.
This is if he doesn't do tshuva, right?
Yes, of course. There's a whole chapter over here on tshuva. What is teshuva? It's not what you think it is, by the way. אמנם הגלגול שהניצוצות מתוקנות נקראים עיבור. But those sparks that are coming back with him, they're not called a gilgul anymore. They're called a ibur. Why? They're called, but they're with him. They're born with him. לפי שאינה נוטלת חלק בעבירות של זה הגוף רק בזכיותיו בלבד. they only take from this nitzot when he does a mitzvah. When he does a avera,
Just like the other Ibur.
yes, but this one cannot leave him. You understand the difference? Regular Ibur could leave whenever he wants, Gabriel. Regular Ibur could leave. This Ibur stays with the person until when? until Kalifa Yisrael. כדרך שנתבהר בנפשות צדיקים שכבר מתו, ובותם בסוד עיבור ממש בחיים ולא מיום שנולד. Just like we learned by the tzaddikim who come back in a ibur, that they only take the mitzvot of the body, but they don't have share in what? The guy's averot.
What does that mean? ולא מיום שנולד.
ולא מיום שנולד. Just like the tzaddikim, they come to the guy. When do they come to him? Not when he was born. לא מיום שנולד.
Yeah.
While he's walking, yeah, so he does a mitzvah, he gives a big amount of tzedakah, bam, the tzaddik goes inside of him, right?
And then he goes in.
And then he could leave. He
Once
takes the mitzvot, and he leaves whenever he wants. So too these guys, when they were, let's
once
say,
they come, they stay.
they stay, but like the tzaddik, what do? They only take the guys. But so when the guy does averot, or when the guy, let's say, falls down and he gets cut, person gets sick, they also feel that. Why do they feel that? That's their Yisur, instead of Gehenom, that's their Gehenom. Understand? And they stay with the guy, in this world. They don't have go Gehenom over there. They go to Gehenom, why? Because they weren't the ones in the previous Gilgul that made him sin. That was the Nitzots that right now is the dominant one, right? So he's the actual Gilgul. And the other ones, they're just there to do their time. And when he passes away, they also go with him, but they separate each one to his own derech. Understand?
It's only one mitzvah that they are like.
Yeah. So who gets up in Techiyat HaMetim? David is gonna get up, and Israel is gonna get up. David is gonna get up with the very bad nitzot that came back in the second reincarnation, and the other ones are gonna go back to the first body. You understand? We're gonna end over here, guys. Baruch Adonai La'olam. Amen. Amen.